Arguably, one of the great sculptures on the short list of great sculptures would be Michelangelo's David. This extraordinary statue sits in a beautiful gallery in Florence. When Michelangelo created David, it was the sculpture that put him on Broadway. Florence was the center of the Renaissance, and this quickly established Michelangelo is in the elite category of artisans of the Renaissance, and this led eventually to him becoming the artist of the papal court. The statue is an irony because if you've seen it, or I'm sure you've seen pictures of it, it's this towering statue, 17 feet tall, and in the reading today we get the impression that David wasn't much bigger than a runt of a young boy, and here he is facing this giant, Goliath. This week, we're listening to passages from the book of Samuel that tell us about the emergence of King David. In biblical history, biblical consciousness, David stands as one of the great influences of biblical history. He becomes the gold standard out of which every king and ruler of Egypt was evaluated, for he was the king during the zenith of Israel's influence on the global stage. As we will discover as we continue in the coming days, David was not a perfect person. He had his own struggles, his own limitations. But he was the right person at the right time. And yesterday we recalled the event in which Samuel anoints him as the future king of Israel. And today is the epic battle. Whether a person believes in the Bible or not, or follows the sacred scriptures, how often do you hear people describing something as, well, that's a David versus Goliath kind of story, the unlikely against the dominant. The one who is most likely not going to succeed ultimately prevails. And as we reflect on the story of the battle between David and Goliath, how did he do it? What was the difference? How was it even possible that this young boy with a couple of stones could topple this giant of a warrior that had all of the weaponry that you could possibly have? Well, David had God on his side. He trusted completely that God would lead him to victory, that God would lead not only David, but the people of Israel against this overwhelming adversary. David, kills Goliath, and not only does Goliath fall to the ground, but the Israelites prevail against the Philistines that were seeking to enslave them. It's a great image of the power of God when we face tremendous adversity. All of us that have things going on in our lives today, there's things in the continuum. Some are more serious than others, of course. But what a difference it can be no matter what we're facing when we feel that God is on our side, that the Lord God is going to guide us, counsel us, encourage us, lead us, whatever it is that we're facing, whatever the Goliath-like circumstances that loom in the horizon. It is this sense of being connected that will give us the strength to face whatever it is that we must face. We all look to the Lord for strength and encouragement and guidance. It was that confidence in God's providence that led David to triumph over Goliath, and it is that triumph of God's will in our hearts that can help us prevail against whatever forces are challenging us at this time. Thank you for participating in the digital liturgy today. The digital ministry touches the lives of many people, as does almost 80 other ministries here at OLPH. Grateful for the community that connects to OLPH through this digital forum. It's unbelievable how many people are able to access the liturgy and other events
because of this ministry. Please consider supporting OLPH. All of your sacrifices help to sustain this parish and to keep moving us into the future. Thank you very much, and keep watching.